Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. This is the way. I am your host, Ty Christensen, and I'm joined with Jordan Christensen.
Yes, this is the way.
This is the way, Jordan. We're also joined by Cameron Mickle.
I'm young, sup cheeps?
I don't remember that being in the script.
My voice is back to normal. That's the best clap I've ever seen in my life. Holy fudge.
Yeah, he's back, and he's as offensive as ever. Cameron is also joined by his brother in crime, Grant Mickle.
Utini!
Who's also your brother.
Yeah, his brother.
Yeah, you're my brother too, Ty. Chill.
We're all brothers here.
Yes.
Grant, how are you doing? You want to say hi?
I did. I said
He
Utini.
quoted the famous Jawa.
Oh, you guys were giving me so much crap for saying he's Cameron's brother. He's my brother, too. We're all brothers here, if that wasn't apparent. We couldn't find a guest, apparently, this week. Or we just realized that Grant is such a fan of Star Wars, he had to be on here to talk about it.
I actually did have a guest, but I wanted Grant on this one. So I told her to take a hike.
Favorites.
Would you like to talk about Star Wars? Sure. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Did I already tell you about the whole Robert situation? I was like, Robert, do you want to be on an episode of the podcast? What movie would you want to review? And he sent me like Harry Potter. He sent me Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, okay, yeah, great. Hey, do you have Colton's number? I also want him to be on the podcast. And he's like, this was like another incident. And he's like, wait, but I still haven't been on the podcast. Like, you're still going to have me on, right? And I'm like, yeah. But what's Colton's number? Oh, I feel bad. He's like still waiting to be on the episode of the podcast.
Why did you mention the podcast? You should have just asked him, like, oh, I need his number for something.
Well, no, because he asked me if I wanted to play Black Ops, and then I was like, or Modern Warfare, and I'm like, yeah, I'd love to play, but I'm busy right now. He's like, doing what? And I was like, podcasting?
Making love to my wife.
Like,
what do you think? My mother?
Well, he's a married man. He just had his second kid. This is like a podcast for Robert. Okay, everybody, if you haven't gotten with the quotes that we've thrown out here, we are discussing The Mandalorian. I don't know why we'd be talking about this. It doesn't really seem relevant. A TV show that came out last year. I don't know why we're talking about it.
Maybe because it's coming
I
Season
know,
2
Because
is
we have
coming
a
out?
season 2. Yes, I was kidding. Gosh, you guys.
Don't worry, Ty. I understand your humor. I was waiting patiently.
Cameron gets my humor. Yeah,
Like,
I
what,
can't
are you
imagine
stupid?
why. What are you, stupid? Why on earth are you talking about Mandalorian? It was so last year. What are you even talking about? I literally, on IMDb, all I see is Mandalorian. He's literally standing in the D of IMDb. Like, is literally everywhere. So I can't imagine why we're discussing this show.
Not wrong.
Okay, this TV series, 8 episodes, was it? The first season? I should know this. This Mandalorian, it came out 2019, directed by Jon Favreau, or he's the creator anyway. He brought us such instant classics like Iron Man.
Sorry, I just like instant classics.
What? Iron Man literally set off the franchise, The Avengers. Have you heard of them? The little small thing called The Avengers.
Don't forget about Hulk, Ty. He also did it.
Did
I don't
he
think
do
so.
Hulk?
Yeah, he did at the same time.
Well, he didn't make it.
Oh, no, I know, but I'm just saying. That Hulk started
Oh,
off
you
the
mean
Avengers as well.
the Hulk had but it was Iron Man. Because Iron Man was such a hit, people were like, people are going to pay to see superhero movies. It's like, yeah, no doy. Spider-Man was the thing, guys. Like,
I
did
think
everyone
the
forget
Hulk
about
almost
Spider-Man?
killed it, Cameron.
It definitely tried. It definitely tried.
Who almost killed it, Jordan? Was that on fault of Edward Norton? The greatest actor of a generation?
We don't need to get into that
just
right
kidding.
now.
Okay, this show stars Pedro Pascal, if I'm saying that right. Pascal.
Is he the voice? Are you talking about the voice of Mandalorian?
No, he's not
He's
just the
Mando.
voice. He is the Mandalorian.
No.
isn't he?
He's
He dresses up
no.
as him.
He's not actually the guy in the suit. The guy in the suit is actually John Wayne's grandson.
You are
No.
literally
That's
shaking
Boba
my
Fett,
world
dude.
right now.
Isn't that
Yeah,
awesome?
that's Boba Fett.
No, it's Boba
Okay.
Fett, dude.
That's Boba Fett, Jordan.
No, I don't think so.
Boba
Jordan,
Fett.
Pedro Pascal is the one in the suit.
Dude, in the original number
I don't-
4, I think it's number 4.
Number 4. Oh, okay.
or
Wait,
number
so you
5.
think, Jordan, it's a different actor that's walking around as the Mandalorian?
Yes,
and he
because
just
did you not watch the original Star Wars with Darth Vader? He wasn't in the suit. Remember when he takes it off? It wasn't James Earl Jones' face. It was.
I'm aware of this, but what I'm saying is I'm pretty certain that it's Pedro Pascal that's doing the Is it not? Cameron Grant, help me out here. Jordan,
looking it up.
you're setting my world on fire.
I was looking at it, and it only says Pedro Pascal, so I don't see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't see the stand-in for. Maybe he does the stunts. Maybe there's a stunt guy that does his.
Do you know his name, Jordan?
No, just look up John Wayne's son or grandson. Sorry, it could have been for the old one. Sorry, that's just what I thought it was. The modern one.
A little bit of trivia that you heard, and you didn't bother to fact check. Fake news, Jordan. Fake news. Nice work.
Don't worry about it, guys.
Derailed the podcast. We're one cast member into this. Okay, it also stars.
We just started, and we're already throwing out wrong facts. People that tune in are like, "What the fuck?
heard
These
it
guys
here
know
first,
nothing
folks.
about Star Wars."
You heard it here first.
It says Brendan Wayne was actually a stunt double for Pedro Pascal in the Mando.
Boom, nuggets.
Okay.
Jeez.
Step back, Jordan, you idiot. It said stunt double. It's not like he was literally the stand-in. Like
I
when he
don't know.
removes his helmet, like Pedro Pascal was wearing the Mandalorian outfit, okay?
As he's removing his helmet, all right, cut! And then he runs onto the scene.
What a baddie, though, right? Cut.
I heard.
Well, I don't know what build he has because honestly, Pedro Pascal's face is too round, I swear, to fit in that helmet. I'll tell you that much.
That's
Did
what
anyone
I'm
think that?
saying.
I thought
It's
that.
John
As soon
Wayne's
as they removed
grandson.
it,
I win.
it's John Wayne's grandson. He's a stunt double. I don't think he's a stand-in though. Okay. It also stars Carl Weathers. You've been getting lazy pushing pencils. Anyone?
Dude,
Anyone?
this whole every cameo in this movie is amazing. Are you kidding me?
Yes, Gina Carano, which is really awesome. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but she's cool. She's an MMA fighter, or was an MMA fighter. I don't watch MMA, but it's pretty vicious, and yeah, man, they just wallop on each other. So it's really cool that she's starring
Sweet
in this
chin
because
music.
Sweet chin music. It's also got Giancarlo Esposito. For those of you who don't know, he plays Moff
Gustavo
Gideon, who's
from
Gustavo Fring from Breaking Bad. Also plays the leader
boys.
of
The
Yeah,
boys.
the boys.
of
Edward
the
something.
company. What's the company called? I can't remember.
Vogue.
Vought.
But yeah.
Vogue?
Wow, Grant.
Grant, what the
We just did the
fudge,
boys
Vogue?
podcast, and you don't even remember what it's called.
Vogue.
Jeez.
Start with a V, chill, okay?
Valerian. Or as Jordan would call it, Valerium. I swear you said Valerium on that one episode, Jordan. And it also stars a few other people I don't care to name. All right, let's get into it. Oh, well, I do want to shout out to Bill Burr. He totally makes an appearance.
Yes.
Bill Burr, like one of my favorite comedians. He's like totally in this. Okay, there's a lot of comedians. I don't know if Jon Favreau like.
Oh, is he
knows a lot
one of the
comedians.
2 scout troopers that on the last episode?
No, he was part of
No,
that.
Bill Burr's the bald guy that makes the joke about him being a Gungan under that mask. Which I
Oh,
thought was so
yeah,
funny
that's
because he
right.
literally
And he pretends to
referenced, like,
drop
one of the
Yoda,
worst-
baby Yoda. I was like, oh man, you're gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so do you have a plot synopsis, Jordan?
No. Do you want
I
to?
don't even know how you summarize this. I've got
Yeah.
one. The travels of a lone bounty hunter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There's 8 episodes summed up right there.
Dude, there's so much I want to talk about. Like, I just finished the series because I started it a year ago when it first came out, and I was like, this. By episode 2, I was like, this is the most amazing show ever. And then by episode 3, I was like, oh no, it's the Avengers. And episode 4, I'm like, I'm done.
I mean, was it The Village that you dropped out then? Episode 4? Was
Yeah,
it like-
yeah, because when that MMA fighter that you keep let you say you're in love with or whatever, I don't know,
sucks.
didn't do it for me.
She
She's a horrible
sucks.
actress. But
I think she's cool. I like her character.
Anyways,
I wish she would have died.
yeah, but Cameron, you get to see her more in season 2. Yeah.
I don't care, dude. Oh, and they. Okay, I continue. Anyway.
Have you guys seen that one film, Haywire?
No, I don't care.
That one she gets to do a lot more fighting in. I'm just saying, she's pretty skilled.
Yeah,
You
well,
should watch
unfortunately,
Haywire.
in this show, sometimes when they do the fight scenes, it's so dark. I'm like turning off all the lights. I'm like trying to cover the screen. I'm like, I can't see who's fighting what and who's getting punched. It was making me very mad. I was like,
Which is really weird. I don't know if that's like a budgetary issue because again, it's like, okay, you have Jon Favreau at the helm. This is Star Wars property. Why on earth would they not have all the money to throw at this? Now, to their credit, this is actually a pretty well produced show.
No, I think it's
8
just
episodes are
Disney
very
who's
highly
like,
produced.
let's throw in a bunch of filters. You know what would make this look better? Filters. Like, screw
make it
filters.
dark
Stop
and
putting
brooding.
filters over your film.
Well, no. I looked at the making of Mandalorian, and it was actually pretty cool. They used a new technology of like this circular room where like they actually had like the pictures of the place like behind them or something. I'm trying to remember exactly how they did it, but it was like a newer technology or something.
Okay, well,
They
so
did
they
a
were
projector screen so the actors can feel more immersed in the world that they're pretending to be in. Yes.
so
right?
no more
Is that what
tennis
you're referring
balls.
to?
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Scooby-Doo is literally a stick with a tennis ball in it, and you're like, whoa, zoink, Scoob. Gosh. It's literally a tennis ball. If you watch behind the scenes, it is so disturbing to watch people act at a tennis ball. It's so disturbing. Gosh. Poor actors,
that's like-
right? Actors
that's-
have it so rough.
Dude, you should see what's his name? Benedict Cumberbatch do the voice of Smaug.
Smaug.
He does
Yeah,
it,
he,
and
like,
he has
slithers
to
on the
like,
ground.
yeah, he has to act.
He's like crawling on the ground like a total idiot. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's
so
like,
creepy.
you know what it reminds me of? No, it kind of reminds me of, there was like, I don't know if it was Peter O'Toole, one of the British actors, like someone was like, you know, like all this method acting that I make fun of so much on the show? They're like, oh yeah, like when I get into character, I go home and I hit my wife like my sexist character would, you know? It's like, what the freak? Like, why are you such a method actor that you're ruining the relationships that you have? No wonder there's such a high divorce rate in Hollywood, because everyone's such trash and garbage. And they keep like referencing like this one Brit actor. I want to say it was Peter O'Toole. I don't remember, but he was like, someone was acting and was like, yeah, so do you like think about your characters outside? He goes, no, I go to the set. When they call action, I start acting. And when I leave, I stop acting and I live my life. And I was like, thank you. Like, I mean, again, I just love this whole idea where it's like, I just live my characters. I treat everyone like garbage. I ate a raw fish to get the Academy Award. It's like, good for you. You're a loser. You literally
Good job,
ate a
Leo.
stupid raw fish and got salmonella so you can get a stupid gold trophy, man. You want to talk about idols, man. Holy cow. You found your golden idol. They literally worship a golden statued man. Okay, pagan enough for you, folks? I still love movies. I just hate everything about that's not on screen about movies. Okay, so
That's true.
let's
One of
talk
the back
about
stuff
this show. What was
also
it like,
ruins
Jordan?
movies.
We kind of got the first reaction to you, Jordan. You were completely wrong about the show. I appreciate you repenting and apologizing to everyone here.
Well,
We'll
I
make sure you atone much later on.
Well, as soon as the second season was announced, and well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they had it in projection right away. But when they announced the date for it, I'm like, maybe, you know, I was looking for a motivation to do it, and so I'm like, if we talk about it on the podcast, this will force me to watch it. And sure enough, I totally regret not finishing this, because holy crap, I want to talk about this ending like right now, but we can
Take it easy. Okay,
just-
Cameron, what was it like watching it for the first time, and what was it like rewatching it for the pod?
So I just kind of did a quick review this recently, just over it. But the first time I watched it was right when I got back from Brazil, and I had heard very mixed things from it, because a lot of people were like, "It's so amazing," and stuff like that. And Graham's like, "Oh, Baby Yoda, it's freaking amazing." And I was like, "Okay." And then I talked to Jordan. And I was like, "Jordan, what do you think?" And he was like, "Nah." He's like, "Watch the first couple episodes, then you'll get bored." And I was like, "Oh, freak!" And so then I started watching it, and I got super addicted in the beginning, and then just like it lulls really hard in the middle, but then it finishes really strong. So I don't know, I loved it.
I don't know what you don't like about those tentacled head idiots running around in prison for 4 episodes. Like, gosh, that went on for so long.
Yeah.
I like prison breaks too. I don't know why that just failed to get me.
Clone Wars did
really,
it
I
better.
actually loved that episode. That was one of my favorite episodes.
I liked the characters around it, but the whole plot, like, we're gonna go and do this job, I'm like, yep.
Oh, I loved it.
All
And then
right.
the ending when they're like, oh, shoot. Like, the guy had the little beeper tracker on him. Reminded me of 007 Casino Royale when he's got the bomb attached to the back of his pants.
Right. Yeah,
So
but
good.
see, again, it kind of made me think of Rick and Morty, right? It just reminded me too much of that. Like,
Oh, I love
look
that.
who outsmarted who, right? That's all it made me think of. Okay, Cameron, thanks for sharing. Grant, what was it like watching it for the first time and rewatching it for the podcast?
So I didn't rewatch it. I just had watched it last year. But But
Oh, great! So you have nothing new to contribute to this. Thank you, Grant. There's the exit.
well, just like I really enjoyed it overall. Like my beef with it is like it's too Disney-ified because like
Don't steal my stuff.
well, I'm just saying like they kind of make it a little too family
You
friendly.
can't have the same opinions as me. We're only half brothers, man.
But like I don't know. It's just this like kind of like I agree with Cameron. Like it starts out strong and finishes really strong, but it kind of just felt like to me, just he starts out looking at like this BA like bounty hunter, and then he just like softens up really quick, and you're just like, okay, now he's like wanting to save people, and you're like,
I know. I thought he
dude,
was
you-
going to settle
you-
down with that woman in episode 4. I
I
was like,
know,
oh
I was
shoot,
like,
he's
what
going
the
to like
That's
start
when
a
Jordan stopped
family.
watching. Yeah, Jordan stopped watching. It's like I guess the rest of the Mandalorian is him like kindling fire and like washing the sheets, you know, of his little hut or something like that. Like
I know.
I guess this is the trajectory of the show. He just becomes a family man.
Yeah.
He just teaches his
'Cause
little
it-
bounty hunter who has like a miniature helmet of himself.
They like project him to be this heartless killer, and then he's just like, but I mean, like I get it because he has a hard childhood, and so I guess he kind of like, and I think Baby Yoda probably like brings that out in him, but like at the same time, like
Did it ever
I don't
occur to you,
know.
Grant, that Baby Yoda mind tricked him? Like, is that at all possible? Even if he'd used the Force, he just had to charm him with those ridiculous eyes and fuzzy head of his, with those little floppy ears. Oh my gosh!
he
Yoda.
makes the show.
These
honestly,
are not the droids you're looking for.
and even though like Mando's like acting is not always like amazing, like, but his suit of armor is just so sick, and like just Baby Yoda.
We're
just-
talking about your experience,
That's
Grant,
so
not the
freaking
entire
adorable.
show and all your likes and dislikes, Chip.
Chip.
overall good.
Cheep. Thanks.
Star's
Thought you
great,
never stopped
ends great.
talking. Okay, so my thoughts. I watched the show a year ago, and I watched it all the way through because I loved it. Even when it lulled, I was like, I'm gonna power through this because everyone keeps talking about it, and I only have a week to finish the entire series before my Disney free trial ends. My Disney Plus free trial ends. So I watched the whole show, and then as soon as I finished the show, I looked at the rest of all that Disney Plus had to offer, and I canceled my subscription before I so, boom! Disney did not get any of my money because, holy crap, they do not deserve my money. Not after all the controversy surrounding the Mulan movie where they filmed like near the concentration camp for Muslim Uyghurs or something like that. Asian Uyghurs, man, they're being schlepped off to concentration camps in China, like filmed there. They're everywhere's corrupt, so it's like, am I just going to enjoy the show? Because I don't believe Jon Favreau necessarily had anything to do with it. Disney's the one that owns the property, and he has an affinity for Star Wars and for superheroes and everything.
And for Westerns.
The show was and Westerns. This was such a fun show. I was absolutely thrown. I was blown away by it. The first time I watched it, I was like, oh, this is why everyone's getting Disney Plus. Like, this is the reason why people should have Disney Plus. I don't like go on the internet very often looking for memes. I don't have Twitter, so like. But I understood that there was a Baby Yoda, so that kind of was spoiled for me. But in the end, I didn't realize what kind of central part he would play. I just thought he made an appearance, so it was like, oh, the whole show is centered around Mandalorian and his little Baby Yoda. So that was a surprise. The cameos, it was so much fun to see all the different cameos that came about. So my second time rewatching this last night, I'm like, okay, well, I'm no way I'm gonna finish all 8 episodes and then the 3 days that I had to try to prepare for this podcast. And so that's why I was up until 2 a.m. last night, because I'm like, I'm just going to watch 10 minutes. And then I was like, I'll just look for my favorite parts. Here I am, sleep deprived, very ornery, which you may have noticed on the podcast. This is such a great show. I could watch it all over again. And I need to finish it soon because I'll have to cancel my free Disney Plus subscription once more. So, everybody, let's get into 2 of our favorite things about this podcast. Or no, let's
About this podcast.
See, I've been up since 2 a.m. I made that caveat. Okay, so I'm a little tired.
I love
Everybody
this
go around and
podcast
say what
because-
we love about this podcast. Everybody, let's all just get around and
This is like Thanksgiving over here.
say one thing we're thankful for.
I love myself because
I think I'm my favorite part of the podcast. Okay, so let's talk about this movie or this show. 8 episodes. What are your 2 favorite things from this show, Cameron?
Okay, my 2 favorite.
Oh, don't
things.
take mine, Cameron, or I'll kill you.
Oh, what happens happens.
This is the
Chip.
way.
Um,
I have spoken.
my first favorite, like obviously there's lots of good things, but I think I want to pick out one particular scene. Is I love the stormtrooper, like the speed racer stormtroopers, like their little interaction with like the
Oh, that was my favorite.
like like when they were punching Baby Yoda, and then he's like, I just want to see it. And he like bites him or whatever, and then they're trying to shoot like that little can on the ground, and just like how inaccurate they are. And like checking his gun, he's like, oh man, like I thought it was really fun. It's like poking fun, kind of at like the old movies of like how inaccurate stormtroopers are. And, like he's like, does this thing even work? And like, and I don't know, I just thought the humor in that scene was like amazing. And then honestly, my second favorite thing was what's his name, Giancarlo, who plays Moff Gideon. Dude, he is an insane actor. Like, I love it every single time he's on the scene. He just like demands your attention, and just like you can just feel like his power in it. I just love it. Like, and then that, like the way it ends, where he like whips out his like dark black lightsaber sword, and you're just like, oh fuck, he's alive.
Yeah, wasn't that the craziest ending ever? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's an amazing, like, what's called antagonist. He's just an amazing villain.
Fun to whet your appetite, that's for sure. How about you, Grant? Did you not like the way I phrased that?
No,
it was enough to tickle my twine. It was enough to tickle my twine.
You're losing me.
Yeah, very uncomfortable.
All right, Grant, how about you, man?
I think my two favorite things, I absolutely love the suit of the Mandalorian, and I love his gun too. Like, just his overall outfit is so awesome. Because like I've always loved the suit of Jango Fett and Boba Fett.
Yes.
So I love that they kind of continued that. I mean, that's kind of the Mandalorian like look, but and I love too.
Well,
kinda
except it's not, because that girl that makes the suit, and she's like the only one that survives or whatever. She did not have a good looking suit. I was like, her helmet. No.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, yeah, there were some
Skyrim.
differences or whatever.
Oh, it did.
But, and then I think my second favorite was like, I think the humor was pretty good. Like, I love the humor in the Jawa episode when they're just like,
Yes.
Suka, la Suka. And they like, he like gets the egg for them and everything. And then just like the subtle humor throughout, I think is really, really good. So those are my two favorite things.
Love it. I'll let Jordan go before me.
Yes.
Jordan,
Oh, yeah. Take that nugget. Obviously, I'm going to talk about Baby Yoda being the cutest freaking thing I've ever seen on the planet. Being the best thing about this freaking show. Every time the little adorable baby just pops up on the screen, I'm just like, I could never get sick of it. Yeah. Oh, I know, when it puts up its hands for the first time, and like, just every time it raises. Oh my gosh. One of my favorite parts is when he's doing, like, what is that called? An arm wrestle with the MMA fighter, and Baby Yoda thinks he's like getting hurt, and so Baby Yoda like puts up his hands and starts choking the chick. That was amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh.
I love it too when the TIE fighter scene where he's coming, he's like, come on, baby, like, do that hand thing, and then he like waves at him. He's like, ah. And then he's like, ah.
Oh my gosh.
But we always call him Baby Yoda. It's like 50 years old, right?
Yeah.
But it can't talk. Does it have the knowledge of a 50-year-old? Or is, like, because that'd be really creepy. I think we're just to assume that they mature very slowly, right? Is that what we're supposed to assume?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
What, Ty?
'Cause it's
A
a
crinkly old
50-year-old
baby doesn't do it for you?
man.
Okay, what, you didn't feel anything for Benjamin Button? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Let him rot. I still have yet to see that movie, and I don't know if I want to, honestly.
You feel
need
it
to
for
watch
that
it.
crinkly old baby. You do.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
It's so hard with this series. So my two favorite things. George, did you already say your second?
No, he didn't say a
Gotcha.
second.
What's your second favorite thing?
fudge.
I know, right? How do you
There's
narrow
too
it
many
down?
things.
Just something that stands out to you.
Well, I mean, obviously Grant already took the Mandalorian. I mean, I just
Like
love
the
Say it
score
again,
or
dude.
something.
Well, yeah, the score, I didn't like it at
music.
first, but I actually love it now. But the
Love
Mandalorian,
music.
dude, every move he makes, like, how amazing is a show when you limit yourself to certain things, like the fact that he doesn't take off his helmet until the very end, and only because, he's going to die. Like, I'm okay with that, because he only showed... No,
They shouldn't
Cameron
have shown
Grant
him.
both.
They shouldn't have shown him until the second season.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, good point. But the fact that they
no, Grant, in our very cynical society, who knew they would actually want more Star Wars that's well produced, well written, and well rounded characters? Who could have predicted? Why is Mandalorian so popular? Who could have predicted this?
And why they announced that they're going to try to remake all the other Star Wars? It's like, oh, please don't, just stop.
Did they? Did they? Oh, I'd love it.
Yeah.
Just,
Well, they made
let's make Harry
rumor.
Potter again. Let's go make Harry Potter again.
I thought they were talking about that too. Anyways, so I'm just, I'm so sick of these remakes. It's just like, please just do these side stories. Like, this Mandalorian is amazing. Stop trying to fix what's broken. It's like it.
Do I get a turn? Do I get a turn now?
Oh, sorry.
No.
All right, listen up, folks. I don't know how to narrow this down because I'm just going to first off by say Western is the greatest movie.
Oh, I didn't
genre
even
of
say.
all
So really
time.
quick, sorry. The Mandalorian, just how he acts, like when he makes a turn and how you feel emotions for him. That's all I wanted to say. Okay, go. Like, great acting.
Yeah.
Thank you for cutting me off.
Oh my gosh.
Wonderful.
Child, go.
Jace, I feel attacked right now. Words are violence, Cameron, and silence is violence. So if you could just be a little more reverent while you're being silent, while you listen to me talk, okay?
If I could, I would kill you with my words.
I'd take out your shin bone and I'd
Don't stick my
stab you in
thumbs
the
into your
face.
eyes and then I'll stab you.
Yeah, Cameron, let's save it for Future Crest. Okay, you can kill Ty later. Okay.
Yeah. You can satisfy your murderous vengefulness in the Futro quest at the end.
Yeah,
of the
that's
episode.
what Cameron does. He just waits till the end. He's like, oh, there you go.
It's just gonna get out all this angst, you crazy teen. Okay, so
All right, Mr. Call of Duty every day.
the greatest,
Go, Ty,
greatest
Gustin.
movie genre, the greatest movie genre of all time, westerns. And why not throw sci-fi in the mix? It's not a problem. Westerns tell the most important, significant stories about everything you need to know about life. You see a thing, you pull out your gun, and you shoot it, and then you ask questions later. That's it. This was everything I wanted in a show. I watch True Grit all the time at my wife's behest. She's like, no, against my wife's behest, right? She cannot stand True Grit. I love True Grit. I love High Noon. I love
Sundance Kid.
Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, probably one of my top 10 favorite films of all time. It's this show literally made me so happy that it existed, and I'm not surprised that everyone else liked it. I'm like, oh, a Western Star Wars? Like, of course. Like, why on earth did we get Han Solo before we had this? Like, you just derailed all the great projects we nearly had with Ewan McGregor playing as Obi-Wan once more, fighting against Darth Maul. And I don't know, I heard that that's back in the works again because
Really?
Jon Favreau once again resurrected Star Wars right after Last Jedi ruined Star Wars, and then after Han Solo, or the Rogue One reinvented Star Wars, and then Han Solo movie totally ruined Star Wars. It's like, oh my gosh.
I didn't think it was Han
Stop giving your
Solo.
property
I
to a
think
bunch of idiots.
It was the film right before that. Then people didn't go to Han Solo as kind of a message to Disney.
I think people didn't like Han Solo. Like, I still have not finished Han Solo to this day.
No, but I thought
Me
people
neither.
were outraged
Because I
of the...
love Woody Harrelson, and I saw all the scenes he was in it, and then once he was in the film no more, I didn't finish it because he was the only person that I was worth watching it, and even he was toned down.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Woody Harrelson. Use him! You have Woody frickin' Harrelson. Okay, anyway. This show, this series, excellent. That's my favorite thing about it. It is the Western sci-fi gunslinging, smoking guns in the West. So much fun. This felt like Star Wars. This felt like after I left the movie theater watching The Force Awakens, being like, I don't even care if that was a soft reboot. I loved this movie. I had the biggest smile on my face, and I was like, movies are good again? Are they going to make more of these? And then I literally left The Last Jedi a year and a half later, or 2 years later, or a year later. I don't remember what it was. I think it was 2 years. And I remember leaving feeling so divided, being told, like, I should enjoy the movie, and there were plenty of things to enjoy about it. And I'm like, do I have some internal hatred toward people? Like, no, I don't. I just hated Rian Johnson. And I thought, wow. Somebody went to film school.
You know what he says
like,
about you on
oh my
Twitter?
gosh.
He calls you guys man babies. Bunch of
Man babies, bunch of crying man babies. You know what's so funny? Again, all of my gripes about The Last Jedi had nothing to do with Star Wars, or like the fan lore. People were like, "Oh, Snoke didn't even have a backstory, and you just went out like a," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I don't care." And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about that. Like, it was clever. It was a good twist. Ryan Johnson did a good job. Why is that a gripe with everyone? I didn't care that Palpatine came back. I'm like, just move on. They used what was the last movie even called? I can't even remember what it was called. So you had Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and what was the other one? I can't even remember. It was so forgettable. What was it called?
The Rise of Skywalker?
Oh my gosh, it was The Rise of Skywalker. Okay,
So the one
can
where
you
he's
just
drinking
take
the milk?
anyone's last name?
No, that's
Yeah.
not it.
Can you just
See,
take the last name
nobody
of
can
anyone? Like,
get
it
it
makes
right.
no sense. Who are you, stranger? I'm Ray. Ray, what's your last name? Skywalker. Do you have some form of ID? I have no way of verifying that who Skywalker is. Skywalker? Wait, okay, great. I guess you can just be whoever you want to be in the galaxy. What a great message. You can just be whoever the hell you want to be. This is so stupid. I'm talking about Mandalorian.
You can be whatever
My second
gender you
favorite
want,
thing-
Ty. Don't you know?
As my OBGYN to my wife said, my wife was in shock after we found out we were having a boy. And then they were like, my wife was kind of in shock because she thought for sure we were having a second daughter. And so the doctor's like, oh, don't worry. She's got the short blue hair, the nose piercing. And she's like, oh, like you seem like in shock or something. She's like, yeah, I just found out that we're having a boy. And she's like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. But don't worry. He can always change his gender later on. I'm like, that he can.
Not why he's living
Oh
under
my
my
gosh.
roof.
Yeah, and then like I'm telling this story at a word Christmas party, and then all of a sudden my bishop is literally behind me when I say that, and I'm like, the hell he can, and he's like, whoa, this is the fun table. Oh, hi, bishop. I felt so embarrassed. I just wanted to sink and die. Okay, so listen. This show was so good. I loved the characters. Taika Waititi playing IG-8 or whatever the robot's name is. IG-11. I think it was. 11. Thank you. There's so many.
Oh, really?
Numbers. Yeah, Taika
Yeah.
Waititi. Well, he did the voice.
And
I
he
think. I think
directed
did
that
the
last
voice.
episode, Grant.
And he directed
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
episodes.
totally makes sense.
Right. Taika Waititi,
Awesome.
our boy's back.
He's awesome.
I loved Werner Herzog's appearance because ever since I watched The Grizzly Man, which was the most unintentionally funny, unintentionally, what was it called?
Unintentional
the most unintentionally
comedy.
funny movie. Yeah, unintentional comedy of all time. Did
More
you guys
than
watch The
Venom?
Grizzly Man? Oh, Venom was another great one. Grizzly Man, just for you that don't know, is a documentary about a guy that went and lived with grizzly bears and thought he would be fine living with grizzly bears and talked to the grizzly bears and didn't see a future where he didn't live with these grizzly bears and didn't get mauled by a freaking bear.
Well, the sad part is he was with his girlfriend, and so she ended up dying too.
What?
I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
Did she die too?
They both got eaten alive because the idiot took his girlfriend out to bears, said, "Hey, look, my family," and then they ate him.
They're like, the bears were like, yeah, you're a little scrawny, but then when he brought his girlfriend back, like, the two of you will do just fine. Thanks for bringing another one. Jeez.
He's like,
So
yeah,
much-
the bears are like, this idiot will keep bringing us meals.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
hilarious.
Like, just let's let him think
Well, it's
that
not,
we're
it's sad,
friendly to
but-
people. No, I'm sorry. The guy chose to be out there, like just lived out there with the bears.
Wait,
and
it's a
there's
true
footage
story?
of him yelling.
It's a documentary, Cameron.
Look it up. And
Oh
Werner
my
Herzog,
gosh.
the guy that's the client that wants the baby Yoda, Werner Herzog. He's also voices in Rick and Morty. He's the guy that needs the to save the alien life. He's like. It sounds so weird. as I
president
describe
guy?
this. Yeah, the president. He goes, yeah, it's like, he's like, people do faces. Yeah, he's got such a great voice.
Yeah,
He
he's like, you
narrates
humans
the
only care
documentary.
about your like.
Taking pictures of your butts. Yeah, it's so funny. So,
He's also the
yeah,
villain in Jack Reacher. He's that creepy guy that says, "I ate off my own hand to stay
Yeah,
alive."
the guy who only has one eye.
Yeah, he's creepy.
Yeah, he narrates Grizzly Man. Cameron, you should totally watch it. It's so crazy. It's mind-boggling. You watch it and you're like, I don't believe what I'm watching. This isn't a green screen. He has found footage of him just standing in front of a grizzly bear, and the grizzly bear makes an attack at him. He goes, no, stop it. And you're like, you are trying to reason with a 2-ton grizzly bear, a man-eating machine, and you are like treating it like it's a dog that just peed your carpet. Like, it's unbelievable. Watch it. watch Grizzly Man. My second favorite thing about this show is, like I was mentioning, IG-11, all the characters I have spoken. There are so many iconic moments, and these are new moments that were created by the wonderful minds of Jon Favreau and all the other writers on the show. Thank you. Like, you can expand on the Star Wars universe. It doesn't have to be limited to a fetching Skywalker. You can do other things. You can create other characters. You can have other motives. You can have other side quests. I'm so sick and tired of hearing, well, he's my bloodline, so I guess I have the Force powers. You don't need Force powers to be an awesome person in the Star Wars universe. You can be an MMA fighter. You can be a guy that carries a gun, and you can be really cool. You can be Carl Weathers. You can have double crossing. You can have recrossing. You can do triple crossing. You can make fun stories out of Star Wars again. Thank you, Jon Favreau. Just expanding the universe, hopefully waking up some people to this dumb notion that these stories have to be grounded in Rebel Alliance and the Galactic Empire, or the New Order, or the New Order, or the Old Order, or the Old Republic, the New Republic, the Senate. I'm just so sick and tired of it. It's like good guys, bad guys. Just make a story about a selfish guy that has an awakening and he's bounty hunted for a living, and then he's like, I'm just going to be a dad now. Like, awesome. I will watch the heck out of that, okay?
Well, I won't, but...
Jordan, you literally, you didn't the first time, and then you had to come back and realize that you missed out on it, and you watched it. That's exactly what I'm describing. It's a bounty hunter that ends up giving up bounty hunting to become a father. It's literally what the show is. You said you wouldn't watch it. You literally just did. It's the Mandalorian I'm describing to you. What don't you understand about what I'm saying? Okay. Moving on, two of our least favorite things from this.
Okay, I do have
Prison Break.
No, I like that episode. Okay, so I do have an episode. I didn't understand at the very last episode when he's like, he couldn't get through that grate, because he didn't have any more of his bombs. And then all of a sudden he zips onto the TIE fighter and he's got a bomb and he puts that on. Like, I didn't understand that. Where did those bombs magically appear from?
It's the Batman's utility belt. It's Batman's utility belt. It's always got stuff when you need it.
Yes,
but he needed it when they needed to open up that grate.
No. Only when it's relevant to the plot.
He was like, I'm going to
save
this. He was probably like, I'm going to hold on to this just in case, He's like selfishly thinking like, I'm going to hold on to this.
Oh, like when we play Call of Duty Zombies, I do that all the time. I hold on to things and then I end up dying and don't use any of them.
Yes. I only have
like
one
gun
grenade
balls.
left. It's like, just throw it, use it. No, I'm going to be okay. And then you go down. You're like, oh, I'm sorry.
Get me up.
Revive me. Hurry. Please.
I have monkeys, revive me.
I just pack a punch down, revive me, please, I have monkeys. Then you get reviven. If that's even a word. You get revived by a teammate and they're like, I don't actually have monkeys. Thanks for getting me up though, folks. So dumb. Yeah, you're right, Jordan. That is really funny. I didn't think about that. I want to say, as a kid, the inner child in me, anytime some character is like dragging behind a ship, it reminds me of that scene in Napoleon Dynamite when he throws out the little action figure on that like nylon
on the bus.
line. Yeah, on the bus, and he just throws the action figure out the window and just tells it along. What is it about being a kid? I had that fascination when I was a kid. I loved dragging things along. Why is that? Like, I thought, when I watched Napoleon Dynamite, I thought I was the only one in the world that did this.
My people.
Am I and John Heater the only two people that do this in the world? Or do you guys know what I'm talking
about?
Like,
oh yeah, because there's one kid, Ty, that was dragging along behind his bike. He was dragging a tape measure, which was a big mistake because when I stepped on it, it slid right through his hands, and so he had these big gashes. Yeah.
Oh my God. And Jordan, what you didn't tell everyone was that little kid was me.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was a neighbor kid.
No, I don't have any thumbs.
I felt.
And you always complain about me getting on Call of Duty late at night, and it's because I had to play and modify my game controllers so I can play with you guys and keep up, okay?
Oh my god!
Trying to do a surprising reveal. Are we even talking about the Mandalorian anymore? Okay, Mandalorian. Two of your least favorite things. Go. Other things.
Cameron,
it sags a little in the middle, right? It's like a strong beginning, strong end.
Well,
the
and
middle
I like.
Is like
what did you say, Cameron? About you just said it's uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah, me and Grant have talked about it before, and Grant kind of already mentioned a little bit of it, but like my biggest gripe with it is like his profession is being a bounty hunter, and they showed absolutely no sign of him having a weakness to being like human or like that. Like he's a very hardened like assassin, and then the only thing that I would have made an exception for is if he would have had a soft spot for children, because he was saved as a child and like spared as a child when many of the other children from his planet weren't spared. And so I could have seen that being a soft spot, but just the fact that he just like went from like a total hardened assassin to like, oh, the best guy on the block who's ready to help out any village that can. Like he's having like some charity guy. I was like, yeah, that's not how it works.
He hesitated for a second. He's like, I don't know if I want to do this. And then they're like, oh, please. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. For half a second, he's like, literally.
We only have 8 episodes. We better
Jordan
not spend
uses
too
that
much
as
time on
his
this.
justification. He's like, see,
A
he hesitated.
hardened criminal would never do any like especially a hardened assassin who murders human beings for a living.
But well, he kind of did it for himself though. He was like, how can this benefit me? And then he,
it did not benefit him enough. Literally,
well, but then you jump to the prison break one, and then that guard, and he's like, no, like let's leave him alive, like we can negotiate, and you're like,
he doesn't give a f. He's gonna go,
what the frick,
see ya, dude. He's like me in freaking Futro Quest. Doesn't give a crap. Like casualty is casualty, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah.
So I had the biggest gripe with that. I just felt like that was a huge character. Like it was just very convenient to the plot, which I mean I understand, but it's like, come on, my man's is like a serial killer. It'd be like a serial killer acting like, oh yeah, I'm totally fine.
Isn't that what serial killers do though? They pretend to act really fine.
No, I'm saying, you're totally misunderstanding what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying, Chief. Okay, well, my gripe. The reason I stopped watching it after episode 3 and 4 is I felt like by episode 3 it felt like the Avengers, because all of a sudden all the Mandalorians are like teaming up with them, and I like got the guy and the jetpack. I'm like, oh no, it's Iron Man, and like I was like, this is feeling way too much like the Avengers. And then by episode 4, it was like another girl was like teaming up with them, and I'm like, oh no, like this is the Avengers. That's when I just decided I wasn't gonna watch it anymore. Oh, I offended Ty. He dropped out. He's like, this movie isn't the Avengers.
No, yeah, but
Anyways.
that is just kind of the hard thing, is that I felt like they were trying too hard, because I mean it is like a solo bounty hunter story. It's like you don't need to bring in too many people, and I felt like a lot of things, like, alliances were very convenient, where it's like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll help you, I'll work with you. It's like,
well, and I was nervous about that because I was just like, oh no, this is Disney putting its fingers into it. Like, oh yeah, they just can't get enough of that team up. They're like, oh yeah, let's team up with more people. Like they just get so excited.
and they've always got to be from different alien races with different skills and abilities. And it's like, oh yeah, we got the bad A girl who's like super strong and stronger than every other guy. And I'm like, okay, settle down.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, they got their little Disney checklist. They're like, oh, make sure we got all this on.
Yeah,
I was like,
strong female character, minority, alien. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, after that, suddenly the episodes picked up, and I was surprised like that people didn't love the episode 5 because it has one of the lowest ratings on it, and that's like one of my favorite episodes.
Is that the prison break one?
No, that was the one where he gets that young kid is like, oh, I got this bounty. You want to come on the mission with me to capture the girl?
They fight the sniper.
And I get because it was more slower paced, but I thought it was one of the funnest episodes. Like, I love stuff like that. It reminded me of episode 2 that was more slow paced, and he had to get the egg for these. And I just love these side quest missions that he goes on. I'm like, I could do an entire series about that.
I like it too because I feel like it's very relevant, and that's why I enjoyed those things, because like it's more realistic. It's like the only way you can get someone, especially in that world at that time, the only way you can get anyone to do anything for you is for you to do something for them. So every single situation, he was like, they're like, okay, get that for me, or kill this person for me, or bring this to me, and then I'll give you what you want. But then versus like the MMA chick, he's just like, just do it, we need your help. And she's like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. It's just like, it's just very convenient and like to the plot, and it's not actually like, I feel like very relevant. I don't know.
Yeah. But dude, what an amazing show. Can I just say how much I love this TV show? I can't get over how much this brings me joy.
One of my nitpicks is like that the main girl, I don't know her name. I have no idea. I don't really care. But like but honestly, like her
name is Kara.
acting is what?
Kara.
Kara? Her acting was like very cringeworthy.
Yes, I was like, oh,
it's so forced, and like I didn't really like the black guy who was the main bounty hunter guy who's in charge of the bounty hunter group or whatever. Like,
isn't really quick? Isn't there like a huge group of people that are super into that girl with the weird like that
the Twi'lek people?
They have that thing over their head. Well, I mean, like, remember they have that two things growing out of the back of their head? What are they called?
Yeah. Twi'lek. That's their
people
race.
Are like super into these things, like.
And the guy was so freaking ugly.
Yeah, and he was the ugliest thing. And that's what I was thinking. I'm like, anybody that's into these creatures, like, clearly are not anymore after looking at those two, because that chick was super unattractive, and she was up. Because
like the blue chick from the prequels, like she was way cool. And she's like they look
and I can see why people are attracted to that. But not this new chick, man. If anybody was attracted, they definitely lost whatever attractiveness they thought they had.
I know, right? Yeah, because just like that was the only thing. The second to last episode, like the acting just like hurt me because they're like they're sitting in that building, and then
Taking
I
out that
forgot
mask?
his name.
Oh,
no, the main stormtrooper guy, General something. Anyway, or Grand Moff something. Gideon.
Moff Gideon.
Yeah, Grand Moff Gideon. Like
just Moff Gideon.
He's like, okay, I'm gonna give you until nightfall to make your decision. You're like, why don't you give him a countdown of like 5 seconds? Like,
I thought it was because he was waiting for Baby Yoda. That's why. But why didn't they bring Baby Yoda in, and why were they just waiting outside? I didn't get that either. I don't know. There's a couple things I was a little bit confused on. Like, did that one guy that was carrying Baby Yoda to the spaceship really have to die? That was devastating.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, poor guy. I have spoken, man.
I have spoken, yeah.
Yeah. I loved him. But
I don't know. I just, like, it didn't really make sense. So they just sat there and they just, like, talked back and forth and, like, we can't get this grate open. You're like, really? Like, and she shoots it and it, like, does nothing. Like, oh, my gosh, like, what are we going to do? And you're like, what the frick? Like, I don't know. It just seemed like super lame that like that episode was not my favorite. But
yeah. Well, I think they did that because they wanted the robot his death to be more like
meaningful.
Emotional.
Yeah, because when I just didn't really feel it for the robot because I'm like when he died, and so I think he was trying to essentially be like, oh, he saved the day. This robot's so awesome, and the robot that he hated, and then they have this moment together right before he dies. And it was cool that he sacrificed himself, but I didn't really care. I'm like, yes, please send the robot. Let him die.
Yeah, like walks through the lava and explodes, yeah.
And I felt bad because it was like they went through a lot to bring that robot back. That poor guy, he spent his whole, like all that time to bring him back to life, and then he dies like right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only to bring him back to life, but then to program him to be a nurse instead of an assassin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he finally fixes him, and he's like, now I must self-destruct. No, wait, I'm not done. There was a few other things that I want to talk about.
Well, one thing, a lot of people had nitpicks with the soundtrack, but I absolutely loved it because it was so different.
At first.
Like,
but now I love it.
I don't know. I just loved it. I think it's so good. Mom and Dad said that like it kind of took them out of the movie because they're like, it's not Star Wars. I'm like,
yeah.
Like I kind of get that, but like it's totally different. Like it's kind of like Ty said, it's like this
John
Western
Williams,
feel.
Everyone's flipping out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love the soundtrack so much. It's so good.
I love it now, but when I first heard it, I'm like, what the crap are these instruments? Like, why are they playing these weird?
It is very different. Yeah.
It sounds like it sounds like African like wind instruments.
Yeah. I think those would have actually been better than the sounds they played, but I enjoyed it though. It got better. Now that I hear it, I'm like, this is a perfect theme for him. I love it.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Do you guys want to just say what you're looking forward to? I don't know where Ty is, if he's disappeared forever.
About season 2?
Sorry. Well, should we say if we recommend this really quick?
Yeah, definitely. It's very family friendly, easy recommendation.
Dude, easy recommendation. Like everyone should watch this. Star Wars fans.
It's a really safe recommendation. It's pretty hard to not like it.
And the two things I wanted to say that I absolutely love too was the end credits when they show the what is it called when you draw things before you? It's a concept. Their concept art.
Oh,
at the
concept
very
art.
end.
Yes, at the end. Those are so cool.
Oh
I
my
love
gosh.
those.
That's amazing. And then the other thing I love too was their use of practical effects. This reminds me so much of the old films. Like there is so many fun instruments. Like even in that first episode, the girl's like blowing the flute to bring in the speeder. And I love how when they bring in the robot, he's like, no droids. And so they send it away, and then a human comes in on this like rusty old bucket.
Yeah.
And just like the practical effects in this are so good. Like it's a good mix between, it's okay to use CGI, but they have, a good balance where there's like actually puppets.
Which is rare in Star Wars.
Unless you get that milking puppet.
Oh man, this scene should just be deleted from existence.
Ugh, so funny.
Incinerated from my memory.
I mean, that would have been fine if the whole film was like that, but just throwing that in there was so out of place.
Well, that's why I think it's so funny, Jordan. You brought up. You're like, it's literally just to satisfy those smart nerds. They're like, how could he survive on that island? It like shows him like getting that and then like spearing the fish. Like, see, he survived this way. You're like,
yeah, because
no
Kevin
cares,
always wonders, like,
dude.
he wonders that, stuff. Like, oh, how could he have survived on this island with no food and drink? It's like, and now I know.
They just got animals waiting to be milked, apparently.
What the fudge?
Okay, going back to, yes, we recommend this movie 100%.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it.
More than even the episodes, what were they, 7, 8, 9?
7, 8, 9,
or whatever. Yeah. This show is amazing. Okay, and then, Cameron, we'll just do what are you looking forward to, and then we'll play the game after that. We'll get Ty back on.
Okay.
What did you watch?
Well, so what I've watched recently, so I've been watching lots of New Girl, some of Community as well. And then the past couple of days, I rewatched Prestige, which is a fantastic Christopher Nolan movie. It's one of his earlier ones. I believe it's his third film he made. Or like third, like his third.
Like
it was his,
fourth
it was,
or something.
It was like his
4 or
third
5.
big film. It was like his third big film. Yeah.
You're still wrong.
No,
Wait,
because
what
you
am I
got
talking about?
Insomnia,
I don't know.
Batman Begins. Oh yeah, it's third.
So like I said, yeah, and then I don't know, I just loved it. It's just a fantastic cast.
Oh, Memento. That wasn't a big one. Sorry.
Memento, yeah. Fantastic cast, just amazing everything. Just amazing plot. And then I also watched what's it called? Memento, which my mind was freaking blown. Definitely, it's the worst movie in the world to walk in halfway. It is impossible to understand what is going on if you walk in halfway. There was someone we watched it in a group, and somebody walked in halfway and was like, "What's going on?" And we're like, "Yeah, just watch. We're not even gonna bother trying to explain it. You're on your own." Like, good luck. Like, there's no way we could try to even.
Well, there's
even
a
if we
video on
tried to-
YouTube about Christopher Nolan trying to explain how the movie works, and it's more confusing than just watching it.
Yeah, it's worse than Inception and Interstellar.
Dude,
and
I kind of want to watch Memento
And Tenet.
with
And
like
Tenet.
where they edit it to where like everything's in chronological order. That'd be really interesting to watch.
I don't know if it would be as interesting though.
Absolutely not.
Well, but I'm saying like to piece everything together. I feel
Yeah,
like
to
it'd
make
be a lot
sense?
easier
Okay,
to follow. Yeah.
Well,
then-
yeah.
And then also,
Well, yeah, because the whole point is like the middle is where the whole reveal happens, where like maybe he's making all this up, right? And so it's like yes, that's a great ending for the movie, but it's like I don't know, the way he films
It's
it though
OCD, Grant.
is a masterpiece for sure.
yeah.
Hello, boys! I'm back! Stupid internet. So sorry. You thought you could
Don't
get
worry
rid
about
of me, did you?
Well, thanks for joining the podcast. We'll end it for tonight.
We're gonna be
And
all
then-
done now.
Wait,
And
Cameron's
then-
doing his thing.
I also watched Rambo: First Blood, which the practical effects in this movie are mwah! They're
Yeah,
beautiful,
the first
dude. Oh
half
my
of it's
gosh.
amazing too.
Yes, the first 45 minutes of the show, I'm pretty sure they could have just ended the movie right there and it would have been an 8 or 9 out of 10. The first 45 minutes of the film, I was like, I literally thought the movie was ending, and then I look and it said that there was like 40 minutes left. I was like, what the fudge? How could they have more to this movie? And then it drifted a little at the end, but it still was really good. And
Yeah, how about
Sorry.
that guy that says,
Rambo.
"Get out of my town, Cameron"?
yeah,
I
get
love
out of my, I want to punch him in
Which
the
Rambo
face.
Which
one?
movie?
Rambo: First Blood.
the first one.
Wait, I'm sorry. You thought it meandered a little bit, like his PTSD scene? You're like, oh, boring. Get back to killing Vietnamese. I thought this was about like killing people Vietnamese or something.
No. Are you kidding me? The middle fight scene, like where he's in the forest and he's just like freaking like home aloneing everybody in the freaking jungle. I'm like, dude, what the fudge?
Doesn't, like, if I'm not mistaken, only like one person dies in that film, right? And he falls out of a helicopter. Like,
Yeah, there was a lot of very borderline, kind of like the Batman, where it's like you throw a person off a 30-foot building. We're like, oh yeah, he survived. You're like, he went head first.
He just
Like,
threw that guy at a boxed crate and he like
yeah,
broke his head and
against
it's
his
bleeding.
head.
And he's
No,
like,
no,
I'll
he's
be
totally
fine.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of those, but overall, really good film. And then the film that I actually just watched, like,
Well, Cameron, do you know? I think he was supposed to die, and at the very end, they were he was gonna kill himself, but they rewrote the ending because they wanted to make 50 billion other films now.
yeah, it's definitely like from a marketing perspective, a genius idea to not kill him. Yeah,
I don't know if he was supposed to die, but the main character was supposed to die at the end.
yeah.
Anyways, keep going.
And then the last one I watched was, so I've just been watching a bunch of really great films recently, and then to kind of top it all off, I finished. We started. Me and some of my roommates started Ford versus Ferrari at 2:30 in the morning and finished at 5. But holy cow, that movie is fantastic. I've never been like so proud to be an American and wanted to punch one of our own and at the same time so hard in my life. I wanted to like and stab that dude's eyes out. Oh my gosh.
Well,
he's literally-
it's funny you say proud to be American because the main guy, he's not technically an American. He's like English, isn't he?
Yeah, he's English. Yeah, definitely English. But like, he just like represents like Ford and like that American. He's like, you want to
Definitely
go to war?
method acting, actually. Yeah, definitely Christian Bale going full British. Yeah. Although, isn't he originally
Isn't
from
he
the
British?
UK? I don't. Yeah, I think he really might be.
I'm pretty sure he's British.
But
That's how I was like,
Look at
I
that.
don't think.
You're like, that
So
accent is
method.
so fake.
so.
Do you think his accent
Well, no,
is
it's weird
fake?
because, well, it's funny because all I've heard him is speak in this, American accent, like in the last 4 or 5 films, American Psycho, Batman.
He might actually not be
Like all the other-
British. I don't know. Anyway.
He very well could be though. Yeah. I
Okay,
should
sorry,
look it
keep
up,
going,
but I
Cameron.
don't
What were
care
you saying?
enough to do that. So. Oh, real quick, did the podcast get so boring when I left that you guys just decided to end it? I'm so
No,
sorry.
we
I'm
were
back
talking
now.
for a long time, Ty. Like, we'll have.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, we were
my
fine
internet was out the
without
whole
you.
time.
We're
Imagine.
we'll go back and if you have some final thoughts,
sheer panic.
I'll let you do some final. We'll do some final thoughts on the movie. I mean, show. But Cameron, did you have anything else or what you're looking forward to?
Just gonna keep watching some more of New Girl, and then also I'm probably thinking about maybe watching The Lighthouse sometime this week.
Oh
my
yeah,
gosh.
fudge. Okay,
Hark! Triton.
Grant.
I've watched a lot of the same movies that Cameron has. I watched Tenet for the fourth or fifth time.
Are you
with
kidding
my
me? What a
roommate.
Wait,
nightmare.
where
Yeah.
are you watching it? Did you go see it in the theater again?
Yeah, it's only $5.
Nice.
It's such a good movie. I'm
Oh,
still
fudge.
confused on some parts,
$5?
dude.
What the heck?
I
Your
only
theater
had
does
it-
it for $5. My theater's been doing it, charging
Yeah,
me full
2
price,
tickets for $10.
$14.
And I
Yeah.
only had to get COVID twice.
I bought a ticket for a movie, and then I was editing and I lost track of time. I missed my movie, and then I went back and saw it again. I mean, I had to buy a second ticket. And then I bought a ticket for a friend because he didn't want to pay. And then when I bought the ticket, too, they wouldn't let us sit together. And I was
Sounds
just
like
like,
a great
whatever.
friend.
Because you can't buy tickets of the seats together if you buy them separate. Anyways.
That's
No,
still
well,
weird.
I offered, so I can't complain.
You're like, I can pay for you. And he's like, okay. And you're like, wait, you're supposed to deny my generous offer. It's like, this is how this exchange works, right? You're supposed to, you say,
Three
I'll
amigos,
pay,
what
and
does
then
he
they
say?
No.
When they take the money, justice is our only reward.
Our reward is that justice has been done.
Okay. Grant,
Wherever
keep going.
liberty is threatened, you will find the three amigos.
Okay, Grant.
Forgot about that movie. Love that movie.
I'm looking forward to seeing. I feel like there's a couple movies I need to see.
Try like a million movies, but you keep playing video games.
Every single movie ever. If you never want to watch movies with me, Chip.
You should kill yourself, Grant.
I should. But I'm trying to remember the last. Or I've seen a lot of movies actually, but I watched Green Room. I don't know if I said that on the last podcast or not. I've watched.
Finally.
Oh my gosh, Green Room. I gotta say, the other side of that door gives me so much pain when they're trying to pull him through and his hand just getting
stabbed so many times.
I literally
dude.
never cringed so hard in my life just
Oh,
feeling
yeah,
pain.
that was
I've never
horrible.
felt
What
pain
about
like
when they
that
slice
watching
the
that
fat
movie.
man up like he's cottage cheese?
Oh, I didn't think about that honestly, but that dog tearing your throat out,
Oh.
and then that
Yeah.
freaking that scene where they're keeping that door closed and they're just gonna
We'll have
do
to talk
whatever
about
they
that on
can
the
to
pod.
their
Yeah,
hand.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That scene is so visceral, burned into my mind, etched in there.
Ty's got PTSD,
Yeah.
just like
I
Randall.
haven't slept since.
No, but we've been watching a lot of Christopher Nolan movies. Like I watched Memento and Prestige with Cameron. And,
Prestige is so good.
Dude, Christopher
Didn't watch
Nolan is
Ford vs
amazing.
Ferrari because apparently sleeping
I've
is
already
better
seen
than
it.
watching.
I've already seen it.
Watching Ford vs Ferrari till 5 a.m. Come on.
It's called being
yeah.
a
Yeah, dude,
smart
seeing that
college
movie in
student.
the theaters
Do
when
not
the
even.
door
You play Call of
swings
Duty
open.
till 6 a.m. or Rocket
That doesn't
League.
matter. Keep talking. Go ahead, Jordan.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go through Sorry Ty really quick. I made a list, and then you can get your little moment in the sun. So I watched Memories of a Murderer, which is unbelievable, and we have to talk about that movie on the podcast. I mean, it was the second film
is that
that
the
Bong
Bong
Joon-ho
Joon-ho
made.
Zodiac?
Same guy that did
Okay.
Parasite, which we did on the podcast. And then
So ever or is like since Parasite? Sorry.
Since
it was the
Parasite.
second movie ever. Sorry.
What? I thought he
he's-
did
okay.
Okja. Did he do Okja or no?
Yeah, he's
Well,
done.
probably-
No, I'm
but
saying
that
second
wasn't
movie.
before.
No, it's the second movie he
Since.
ever. No, that he's made. Like it was
He's
his.
made. His second film he's made ever.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. Jeez.
No, like I'm not saying he's only made 2 films, Cameron. He's made a ton of films. I'm just saying it was like
I
out of
thought he
all his
made more
films,
than 2.
So
it was
the
number
second
2.
Movie sit. Oh my god.
No, it's
Dude,
not
you don't
since
speak
Parasite, Cameron.
English.
That,
No,
that's
not
what I
since
thought he was
Parasite.
saying.
No,
He
Yeah,
was
it
saying
was
his
her
second
earliest
film he
number
ever
2,
made.
his second best film. That's how you speak
No, no,
English.
no, no.
No,
No,
he
no,
was
no, no.
saying
It's
it's the
his
second
second
film he has
He
made.
ever made from
Now
the
Cameron doesn't
beginning.
understand.
Not ever made, but like. Stop saying ever.
You're such a loser.
Okay, Cameron. He's made like 10 films. It was out of like when he first started making
The
film. It was
second
1,
film
2.
he had made.
How is that an
Has hadn't made.
Has had made.
Has have made.
Anyways,
He
okay.
had
All
made a
retarded.
film.
Okay, so the second movie I watched was
Surrounded
King
by
of
His
Staten.
second film of all time.
Shut
Cameron.
up.
His second film of all time. Wait, now I'm confused.
He's
Do you
only
mean
made 2
second
films.
film is your second favorite film, or the film that came after Parasite? I'm so confused right now.
Okay. Anyways, and then I watched King of Staten Island, which is really funny. The Departed, which we have to do on the pod. Thirst, which is about vampires, unbelievably. Like, this is why I'm so behind on the podcast. I've watched so many movies. And then I watched Bad Milo, which is about an dwelling creature that comes out of his butt and, like, eats people. Really funny. It's got the guy, Kronk. It's got Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. Weird movie. Anyways, and then Primal, amazing
Wait,
TV show.
The dwelling butt monkey is the weird movie. I don't believe.
No, that's from Bruce Almighty.
I know.
Hello,
I
dwelling
don't.
butt monkey.
I'm trying to describe what you literally just said. You said an dwelling creature comes out of someone's butt and becomes his best friend, and I'm thinking, oh,
It's
you
it's
mean the-
it's like it's a cute creature. Like it's freaky, but it's cute too. I have to send you pictures. It's,
yeah, it's the green, got long pointed ears, and it's all fuzzy on top.
no, it has no
Baby
fur
Yoda.
because it
Baby
slides
Yoda.
in and
I
out of
was
his butt.
describing Baby Yoda. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyways, and then I watched The Town That Dreaded Sundown, and then I watched Prisoners, which holy crap,
Oh,
Prisoners,
you watched it again?
masterpiece.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
I've seen it
good.
so many
Jake
times.
Gyllenhaal?
I do want to see that one again, but I don't know if I could watch that one again.
Yeah,
So-
I don't
we
watch
have
it.
to do it on the
You're-
pod.
you're married,
And then
you have
I
children.
watched Event Horizon again, and I watched it like twice this month. And I watched Pandorum twice this month, and I watched Requiem for a Dream again. Holy crap, dude! These movies are all like masterpieces.
Oh, and I watched
Dude.
Zodiac. That was really good.
Yeah. Oh, and yes, thank you for bringing that up. The Memories of Murder is like the Korean version of Zodiac.
Don't hype it up that much, cheap.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just Cameron's favorite movie of all time. So
Cameron,
do you
this
have to
movie
lose?
is based on a true story too. I was gonna save that, and I shouldn't have said it, but I didn't know that after the end credits. So when I went and saw Memories of Murder, the director was having an interview with Edgar Wright, and they had an hour interview, and they were talking about how this movie was based on a true story, and I was like, I didn't even know that. Like, this movie just became 100 times better. So
based on a true story, or
no, it
an
was the
actual
true.
history?
Like, it was true. It actually happened. So.
Yeah, it's called the documentary, Jordan.
Jeez.
Based on actual events.
I mean,
They
well,
should
I
put
mean,
a
I'm sure they took a
percentage.
few liberties. I mean, because like the guy improv'd kicking the other dude down the hill, and that was so.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Ty,
Any
you wanna
other
tell
things
us
you'd like
too?
to? Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I just wanted to say one negative about the Mandalorian that bothered me was any animal called a blurg. I just think you're creatively out of ideas when that's like your go-to for an alien animal. You look at it and you're like, what do we call it? Well, there's probably some really cool Latin. Blurg. Yep, it's a blurg. Like, bleh. Like you didn't even have to try. Bleh, I don't know. Oh, ooh, that's good.
Maybe they
Do
called
that
it George
sounding-
Lucas for
bleh.
that one. He's like so tired of them calling him. And he's, hey, what's another good creature for in Star Wars? And he's like, "Blur." They didn't realize he was like burping.
There. To me, it's just that's a little creatively bankrupt, and it's just another one of those arbitrary creatures. I mean, it looked fine, small arms, fun. It's fine. It's totally fine. I'm not even upset.
Clearly.
Anyway, you gave out all the awards and everything, so we're all done, right? I
We're
missed
good.
all that. No need to talk about it further, Ty. Just
We
pack
didn't
it
talk
up.
about who won the Academy Award, though.
Well, I kind of don't like that one. Like, because it's like,
Oh wait! You mean the category you created? You don't like that one?
yeah, we should start something different. But anyways.
Okay.
Oh, we can do that. I don't care. Just do it. Just who won?
You
Mandalorian.
should- I always like doing the best and the worst. Yeah, man.
No, Baby Yoda
CGI,
won
Baby
easily.
Yoda, yeah.
IG 11.
It might have been the MMA fighter. I don't know.
I think.
Yeah,
it was
she
IG
definitely
11.
lost.
I think IG
She,
11 was
she
awesome.
definitely won the Razzie, hands down.
Like I felt more for that robot than I did most of the humans on the show.
Oh, okay, wait, real quick. Another thing I really like though is like how they were able to show emotion with his helmet still on. Like you could tell what he was feeling
Yes.
based on his body language. which
That's
is
what I was
really
trying to
cool.
get at before you guys kept cutting me off, so.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
well, Clint Eastwood's grandson did a really good job, didn't he? And they shoved some fat Spaniard in there right before they took off the helmet. And then it wasn't him anymore. Yeah, what is it with
It's
Star Wars
like I can't fit in
fascination?
the suit. They're like trying to take off the helmet. They're like, eh. They're like,
I'll be
"Put
honest, when
some
they-
Vaseline in there.
Oh, that's great. I'm sorry I got us talking about The Mandalorian again. I couldn't leave it. I just had
No,
a few other
I
things to
love
say
the
about
show. We can talk about it all day. I don't care.
Yeah, in the end, Jordan, you were wrong. I just love being right all the time. You didn't like the show, and I'm glad you went back and watched it.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
Things that
Thank
I've
you.
been looking forward to seeing, or I guess things that I've seen. I already mentioned Charade. I just watched. I wrote it down. I don't remember it. 1 second.
What, you didn't watch Bad Milo, the dwelling creature, like I did?
No, I watched The Escape Room, Jordan, as per your
Oh,
recommendation.
what did you think? Tell me.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay, well, I didn't like it, so I mean,
Oh.
okay, here's the thing.
It's like
I
the
liked-
PG-13 version of Saw. How is that not fun?
I think the movie could have been 8 minutes long because I like the ending, and that's it.
Tight.
That's like
Don't
the-
spoil
that-
anything. I
I
haven't
didn't-
seen it.
Oh, okay. Ty, how do you not like any movie about, like, I am obsessed with any movie about games, but a game for your life. How is that not
Cameron,
the greatest
mute
concept
just for
ever?
5 seconds, Cameron. Just mute for 5 seconds.
Okay.
And I'll
Or
wait
just
when you come
unplug your
back.
ears, because you're still going to hear us, right? He's still going to hear us. Oh, he can
No,
hear us.
he's muted. He won't hear us. Okay, so real quick. One thing that really bothered me is at the very end, like, you had a really fun twist with this whole society, and I was like, you should have just made that the focus of your movie. Like, because I'll be honest, the escape room puzzles and all that stuff, it just wasn't engaging. Like, they should have done... Okay, look, I just watched Creek, and they had an escape room episode, and it was way funnier than that whole movie. And not just funnier, but it was better puzzles and mystery and
They
building.
They should have, though, peed on that key in the ice cube. I didn't understand that. Like, why wouldn't you just pee on that?
Yeah, that or like, I don't know, like, as soon as they had it melted, why not try to break it again? There was a metal frame protecting it at first. Then they literally had just the smaller ball. Why did they try to break it again at that point? The metal frame around it, like, I have so many nitpicks to pick with that movie, but we could do that another episode some other day.
I just like the was he Asian guy or whatever, and then he ends up dying like in the second or third one. You're
Yeah,
like,
he's from
"No."
Atypical, right? Yeah, Atypical. He is great. I liked him, and yeah, of course they killed him off because he's the token Asian dude that doubted the whole escape room for the longest. So of course he was gonna die. And then also the deaths. Like, they should have either gone R rating and just made it more gruesome and intense. Like,
That's
they just
Saw,
made it, like,
though.
yeah. Well, thank you. It literally was Saw, and that was my problem. I was
There's a
like, either
PG-13
make it
version
Saw
of it.
or don't make it.
Dude,
Sure.
I could never get sick of Saw
I
movies.
just didn't get that the whole beginning was the one kid getting squished, and then, like, a table leg literally goes through his leg, and then the next scene he ends up getting out and he's, like, running after the bad guy with, like, a mild limp. You just had a table leg get pierced through your entire leg. Like, how on earth are you still walking? Like, let alone limping. Like, anyway. Like I said, love the last 5 minutes where he's like, "Hey," it literally pulled.
You don't think he
It-
did what
okay.
Taylor Swift said? Shake it off, shake it off.
Yeah, he shook it off, and literally the next moment, he's like running through the room, and then, like, there's this reveal, and they literally took the whole premise of Saw, and at the very end, they made the premise of Cabin in the Woods. That's it. Like, it was like, hey, we're all doing this for entertainment to appease the people, right? That's all I'm saying. It wasn't anything original.
Or the Belko
Two
experiment. It
cliches.
had the same.
Or
ending.
the Belko
Yeah.
experiment, right? Yeah, all this. And again, it's just like, I actually would have just enjoyed a full movie of that society, like the very end when they did that simulation, and they're like,
Well,
she had a
Ty, they
4%
announced
chance
that they're
of
going to
survival,
do
and
an
then that
escape.
evil voice comes on, and he's like, "Oh, good, put her through it." Yeah.
They announced that they're going to do an escape room too, so they're going to do more of the society. So you get
good.
to have
See,
your
I would
movie.
have-
Maybe you're going to like
Great.
that.
It'll be like
It'll be a Happy Death Day 2 situation.
Yeah, it'll be Happy Death Day 2 situation where it's like, oh, good, now
My
we're
gosh,
watching
take
Happy
your
Death Day
sweet
2.
time, nerds.
Okay,
Holy
we're done.
crap.
All right, Cameron, you can come back on. Come
Talking
back
about
on.
the
Come back
entire
on.
movie.
Cameron
Yeah,
is
Ty
already back on,
wanted
that's
to
why
talk
he's-
about the whole movie. Sorry, Cameron.
Goodness.
I spoiled
30
plenty
seconds.
of movies on there, but Cameron, just
It's
don't.
30
watch
seconds,
it.
10 minutes later.
You're just go from, like, watching, like, Christopher Nolan, and then you're gonna watch Escape Room. You're gonna be sorely disappointed. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not gonna watch
talk
Escape Room right now.
about cresting and then go straight for the valley like an airplane.
Dude, I feel like
straight
it's a
down.
perfect B film. I loved it as a B film. Like, I just
That's
thought it
fair.
was perfect.
That's totally
there you
fair.
Go. All right.
Maybe,
What else? Ty?
maybe you could have given me that, like, little caveat that it was a B film before you recommended it like 8 times. I mean, you're like, Ty, have you seen Escape Room? Oh my, how to see this thing?
Well, it was after I hadn't gone to the theater for a long time. I went to the theater, saw it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so happy to be back in theaters again. Like, that's a theater movie.
I didn't know you saw it in theaters.
Yeah,
but
I
this
saw it
was
with
before
Dad.
COVID.
I saw it with Dad Rich, and
Oh, okay, but this was before COVID, though, right?
Yeah, because it's been out for a long time.
So you're like, but put it in context. You're like, oh, it's so good to be in the theater again. Like, what? Since the 4 days before that, you were in the theater? Like, it's been so good to be back here. I haven't been here in 2 days.
No, because for a while I was like, is cinema dead? And then I watched that, and I'm like, cinema's alive. It was
Oh my
that
gosh,
movie.
you watched Escape Room and you thought, oh, cinema. Oh, man.
Yes. No, it's because
Tour
you
de
watch
force.
anything with Dad Rich, and suddenly it's like 10 times better. Or watching movies with you, it's the same thing.
True.
Or if you don't watch it with him and you hear his opinion on the movie when you didn't see it with him, it just gets you more upset. Like, I do not understand why he likes Baywatch, and I don't understand why he didn't like movies like, was it Tenet? No, what did he not like?
Well, he didn't like Uncut Gems, but I don't think that's kind of divided on a lot of people.
No,
but-
yeah. I can understand why he didn't like Uncut Gems. I technically, quote unquote, didn't like Uncut Gems.
Oh, I loved it.
Like, no.
Loved it.
Jordan, let me clarify.
I loved it.
Put air quotes. I loved
We're
that
not
movie.
getting into this, nerds.
but I hated it. Okay.
No, I saw it 2 times in the theater. Christmas Day.
Because you blinked and then you missed the whole ending. Seriously.
Oh, and when I saw Christmas Day when I was in the theater, the guy came over to me and he's like, I'm gonna sit in this seat. Oh, or what did he say? I can't remember. He made me move though. It was really funny.
Wait, what?
Yeah, some guy.
Slow down.
Huh?
So wait, you were sitting in your
Oh no, that's what it was.
seat?
So we have assigned seats. I came up and I'm like, and he's like, oh, is this your seat? No, and he's like, this is your seat. He's like, you don't care if I use it, right? And I was like, no. Because he was like this big black guy, and I was like, I'm not gonna mess with this guy. He's gonna kill me.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, so you're in an empty theater on Christmas Day. There's one African American chap sitting right in your seat. Your only assigned seat.
Well, it's in the
that
perfect
entire
middle
auditorium.
seat, okay?
And he's like, you don't mind if I sit here, do you?
Yeah.
What do you say? No.
No, I just said, I'm like, no. And then I walked away.
Well, wait, what?
Grant, Grant was trying to infer that. What are you supposed to say? Yes.
Yeah.
Grant, you got to use your brain. Come on, but.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
You could just say, I'm a racist, in fact, so you definitely can't sit there. Excuse me, no, you can't sit there. Now, try to enjoy your film. Knowing that I'm sitting in the theater with you. Gosh. I don't know what on earth you're supposed to say. So I watched Escape Room, and then I watched Cinderella, because I have a daughter that's 2 years old, and she loves Gus Gus the mouse. And we named her dog Gus Gus after that, right, Grant?
That was me who came up with it.
I was Cameron.
was
Well,
not
Cameron,
you.
you originally said, you were like,
It was
let's
me.
name the dog Cinderella. It would be funny.
Yeah.
And then one of you was like,
No, it was
Gus
mom.
Gus.
Mom was like, "What about Gus Gus?" And we're like, sure, I guess."
So it was mom. Mom, get off the podcast.
Oh,
Perspective, I was 5.
She's on the podcast like every episode. Can we do one episode where we don't talk about our moms?
I'm sorry. It's impossible because we actually got another email from Mom. She says
Don't say it. Don't.
she has thoughts on Tenet. She says, let's see. So I listened to this.
You boys are pursuing your dreams.
No, she said, I listened to Tenet podcast after I saw the movie. I love the movie even more after I listened to you guys talk about it. I think if I watched again, I'd appreciate it more to catch more clues. But I did want to make a couple of comments. So first off, you guys talked about the woman power thing, which I want to address.
Oh boy, getting on our soapbox.
Are we literally going to get women-splained by our own mom? Like, this is just a spanking, a public humiliation. Can we just shut the podcast off now?
She said, which I want to address
Oh
because
my
I think
gosh.
there are 2 aspects of this movie. First and foremost is the woman cannot kill in cold blood like a man. Okay. Yes, I'm sure there are those few exceptions. Thus, that is where the director went wrong in having her kill her husband.
Like one of those few exceptions might be a woman who's been tortured by her husband and like brutally beaten by him many a time.
Or threatening the entire existence of mankind and threatening to end it all. Like, I'm sorry, mass genocide, that's not reason enough to end someone's life. Again, Mom, we're talking about movies here. I'm not suggesting that someone gets shot in the face. That's not...
Okay, he should have had her
gosh.
realize she's not a murderer like him and not do it, but then in self-defense, she ends up killing him. So, I don't know.
Mom is the greatest troll of all time. She literally had me all worked up, and then she's like, yeah, but if she had just played her cards right, she could have held out a little longer and then be totally justified in murdering him. Oh my gosh.
She says, otherwise your spirit and soul will be affected for the rest of her life. Of course, we all knew what bad man he was, but remember, God said, vengeance is mine. We need to leave it in his hands unless it is a war and we are protecting.
Of him so he can blow up the world. Yeah, great idea, Mom.
Okay, a second, she should not have given him the power over her by staying. Wait, she may have had sacrificed her relationship to her son, which I know would have killed me. So apparently she's willing to sacrifice us, guys.
So
if it
clearly
meant
she's like,
her own
it's all
power.
about woman power. If it means giving up your
But
child, it's okay.
her woman, that's the camera. That's funny because she just says, but her woman power would show more to women that are in abusive relationships that you have power to leave or sneak out somehow. and take her
I
son
can't tell
with
if this
her.
is the greatest troll of all time, or Mom is genuinely suggesting that she has been living in Texas for too long and filling her crazy head with kooky ideas about men coming into her home, and like she just wants to use that gun that she has. Okay, is there any curiosity as to whether or not she would use it in a situation where she felt threatened?
She
She's
has to
ready
yell
kill
first.
someone.
Do you guys have a gun? She's like, good.
Are you armed? Yes. Kicks down the door and comes blasting through, jumping, firing 2 guns through
Guns
the air.
Kimbo.
Yeah, guns. Freaking like Hot Fuzz, dude. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
anyways, the final comment just says, I think sacrificing your life to stay with such an evil man just to see your son was not healthy for anyone. Third, I thought it was just 2. Anyways, third, and a little bit of a mother noticing you guys enjoyed too much and talk about the torture of man's parts. To me, that is such a 5-year-old thing. For an evil man to use as torture. But as revealed on your show, you all talked about it too. So men are all wusses. Try having a baby and then we'll talk. I know this will bug you all. Thanks, boys, for sharing my insights on your podcast.
Oh my word. Okay, start screening my emails and my calls. Anything podcast related, Mom isn't to be left anywhere near the studio, anywhere near the email. Oh my gosh. Mom, great insights.
Way to go,
Thanks
Mom.
for that. I don't know whether to be
We all
I don't
love
know
you.
whether to be wildly impressed or horribly offended. So thank you for the
Makes me want to just do a
message.
little bit of this.
I'll kick you in the Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do the episode.
If you want to reach us, send us an email at futromovies@gmail.com.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Push us on all your friends. Take a snapshot of your phone.
Leave us that 5-star
Take
rating.
a snapshot on your phone and post it on your Instagram and be like, hey, I'm listening to these kooky guys talking about movies and TV shows alike, and I like what they're saying. Or I don't like what they're saying. You can rage listen to us as well, you know? You just want to be screaming at your fetching phone on your way to commute to work. That's great, too. Just...
Bad
That's
publicity.
fine.
These idiots think that the guy is in the Mandalorian suit is John Wayne's grandson.
Hey, these are from 4 guys that really like Star Wars. Yeah.
He thinks the guy at the
who's-
end of Zodiac is Paul Dano. Do they know
these
nothing?
are guys that like Star Wars. What's the name of the last Star Wars movie that came out? I can't even remember that. That was
Rise
so
of
funny.
Skywalker.
No, I know. I was
That's what
referring
you
to
were
earlier in the
thinking,
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get your humor apparently.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Nobody
I don't think
understands each
anyone,
other.
and neither do the 4 other people that listen to the podcast either. Okay, so all right, here we go. Let's everyone.
Okay, everybody say
leave
goodbye,
us a
and then
5-star
we'll.
review.
Okay.
And everybody,
Peace.
this was Futro Hated Movie Jams.
Bye.
Heading out, signing out.
This
Peace.
is the way.
See ya. I have spoken. They're coming out with a new one.
Borat 2 is going to be streaming
Yeah.
on Amazon Prime on Friday. That was what I forgot to mention, and we stopped. Put this back in the episode. Put it back in.
I will. All right, good.
No, you don't have to. I'm totally kidding. Just
No,
let
I
it be
will.
part of this episode.
It's
No, that's too much work.
She's a crazy gypsy.
He literally is talking about coronavirus, and he goes, it was spread by a bunch of Wuhan Jews. I am so excited to see it, dude. Oh my gosh. Sacha Baron Cohen, man. He is the thing that's going to save this planet. If we cannot laugh at ourselves, we are going to kill each other.